Bishop Franco Mulakkal, who is embroiled in the Kerala nun rape controversy, is exclusively talking to Republic TV and is giving us this detailed interview. Thank you, Bishop, for talking to us. Now, Bishop, you've been booked by the Kerala police in this entire case. Today, you are an accused in this case, but you have consistently been maintaining that you are innocent. On what basis are you really saying that you're innocent?
I am saying that I am innocent based on the truth. The accusation is false, baseless, and it is a concocted story made everyone to believe as something which has happened. But actually, nothing has happened.
Now, can you touch your heart? Can you touch your conscience and say that you're innocent?
This I have been doing all the time from the moment I heard about this. I can touch the Bible, I can touch my conscience, I can touch anywhere and say, I have not raped her, not only her, any other woman in this world. If anyone can stand up and say that I had raped anybody, give me death sentence.
What happens is, when there is a sensitive case like this, the onus is usually not on the victim to prove that she has not been raped. The onus is on the accused, on the man here. So when such is the case, what are the evidences on the basis of which you're actually saying that you're innocent? Can we talk about material evidences in this case?
Of course, if we analyze the law, the statement of the lady is 100% evidence.
Yeah.
But because of so many false accusations proved so in the court of law, Supreme Court has come up with another law. In old cases, investigation must be made first, and based on that evidence, arrest may be made. Whereas in the fresh case, it is first arrest, medical test, presentation of the culprit before the magistrate, and then only investigation will start taking. So in this case, because of the large time gap between the first incident and the accusation, naturally Kerala police is investigating. And based on that evidence, they will arrest me, and that is the course of law, and I have to face that. But in this case, all what I want to say is,
So you yourself are saying that you will be arrested. So you are giving an
I
example.
am not giving example. I am telling if there is evidence.
If there is evidence, yeah.
I say I must be arrested.
I get that.
I must be put in the jail. Because the framing is, it's not if he is guilty. No, if he is found guilty. Depends on who finds, no? So let it be. If I am found guilty, I must be punished. Like everybody says.
So basically, again, I'm coming back to the same question. What are the evidences? Because the onus is on the accused
Okay.
to prove that you're guilty or not guilty. It is your duty to prove.
Okay.
So what are the evidences that you have?
So in this case, for a rape case, the first evidence is to prove the physical presence of the person. Then only rape can be established. So it is because of that Kerala police has already taken away the logbook, the chronicle or the diary in which normally they write who came, who went, who slept and what. They have a narration of the some things depending on what they want to write. So the logbook of those 2 years, the diary, I am given to understand Kerala police they have taken.
In the logbook, I have seen one of the bites of SIG officer who is probing the case, who has said that when the Kerala police went to one of the convents and checked the logbook, they have found that you were present in the places during the time the nun had alleged that you were there and the alleged case of sexual assault had taken place. So what do you have to say to that?
Okay. So the first date mentioned is 5th
Of me.
of May 2015. And I am given to understand that in that logbook it is written that two sisters who had gone for a program where I was present, they came back to the colony along with me. This is what it is written. It is not written that I stayed there because I stayed somewhere else. I came here, I dropped them, and then I went away. If you analyze other entries, the days that I have stayed, I think there might have written stayed here, stayed, nine, etc. Stayed. Whereas to indicate my presence there, it could be I visited, I came,
So does it really
I
matter?
came here,
Yeah.
because words have good meaning. And if the logbook is taken as the proof of my presence, then I have to speak on that. Because if that is the evidence, then I have to speak on that.
Yeah.
Therefore, they, if the accusation is 13 times, we will have to check the logbook to find out whether 13 times I have stayed there.
Or you
Because,
visited?
no, because according to the, I think, FIR or FIS, the rape has taken place at night after 10:45, 11:30. That is the time. So my visiting there is alone is not enough. I have to stay there. Night, I have to spend time after 10 or after 11. So that has to be proved. That my presence has to be proved.
But when you're saying this, just because you said this, I want to say, is it really necessary in a let's take a general case? Is it necessary for a man to stay in a room or to prove that he has raped or not raped a woman? I mean, even if one can prove that the visit has taken place, is that not enough?
In the what you said is true, but in this case, when it is written that the first narration of the first case, as I am given to understand it, around 10:45, she comes to my room, and then up till 10, 11, 11:30 or something like that, the act has taken place. Same thing was repeated following day, and like this, 13
So
times.
you're saying that if you look
Like
at the
this.
log books, the entries will not be there. Your entries will not be
I
there.
think so because I have to. We have to check that. So
Okay.
if that is the primary evidence, if they have taken, then we will have to study it very closely. And if my memory is right, I think I might have gone there maybe night. I might have stayed there only 8 or 9 times. So this 13 times itself is contradiction.
Okay. So now the allegations, if you look at the allegations, why are there so many protests in Kerala today? Why are there so many protests across the country? Because the allegations are serious. And here we are not talking just about a man and a woman, we are talking about a bishop and a nun. And the allegations are so serious that the nun is saying, the victim is saying that I was raped 13 times. I was forced into unnatural sex. I was sexually assaulted. I was confined in a guest room. So these are the allegations. Now I want to know, why would a woman, and in this case a nun, come out in the open and just make allegations which are so serious? Are you saying that the nun, the victim here, is cooking up a story? Because there should be a logical answer to this, no? If a nun is coming out in the open and saying that this has happened to me, why is she saying that? Is she cooking up a story? Are you saying that she is doing this?
She is cooking up a story.
But why would a woman actually cook up a story? There should be a logical reason.
So when we talk about a logical reason, we have to have a logical background. The background is 2016 November, where a lady from Delhi came to them and accused the complainant having illicit relationship with her husband. She came and shouted at her, wailed, cried, and in the end she said, if you don't take action against this sister, who was former Mother General,
You're talking about the victim here.
Yes.
There has been a complaint against the victim
Yes.
that the victim, had indulged in illicit relationship
With her husband.
with another person's husband.
Yes.
So this complaint came to you.
No. To the mother person, the mother general of the congregation.
Okay.
And the mother general told her, please come inside, we will talk about it. She said, no, I don't want to come inside. She has destroyed my life, whom I considered as God, with her husband and this companion. They have betrayed me. I can't bear it. And she was, so then she said, okay, if you don't want to come inside, do one thing if you are, and she said, if you don't take action, I will go to the meeting. And she goes back to Delhi, writes everything, all what she mentioned, with her own handwriting,
But once again,
and she sent it by
just
email.
one second. But why are we even talking about this case? Because this case is unrelated to your case. And because people today
I
who
am
listen
good.
to you
Yes.
will feel that this is a character assassination of the victim.
No problem,
Yeah.
no problem,
Please
because
go
I
ahead.
have to give the
Yeah.
link.
Yeah.
So she went back. She went back and wrote everything and sent it. In that it is also mentioned that when she confronted her husband over the phone from the school, and then when she came back, her husband was already at home and he was writing notes to his clients, and she saw some white powder on the bed, and she looked at the fan, and she felt as if he might commit suicide, something like that. So now I have the general, when after having read the letter, called her counselors, and they came together. Now what to do? Now they were in a dilemma because the complaining sister was the former mother general. 3 years she was appointed, because this is a new congregation. 3 years she was appointed. Then they introduced the election. So she was elected, the first elected mother general. And for 6 years she was the, but in the second she lost the election. So she and others who were with her became like a different group opposing the newly elected mother general and the councillors. So there was power struggle going on for quite some time, trying to, anyway, that is inner politics. Now, because,
So basically the complaint letter came to you also.
no,
Huh.
letter went to the mother general.
Yeah.
So because they were in a dilemma, because now already they are having
Yeah.
this tough, difficult situation, what to do? That is the time they came to me,
Mm.
asking for an advice, what to do. Now, I said, since you have received a written complaint, you have to make a preliminary inquiry. I have to give that advice. Otherwise, just imagine, suppose this thing had gone out of hand, and if he had committed suicide, and church had not taken the matter into account,
So you had basically ordered an inquiry against the
not ordered, I gave
one.
permission, I gave
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah.
Now, the whole media would have been on us telling that we have tried to cover up this accusation. The same thing now you are trying to ask me, that the church has tried to cover up. We were in that dilemma. Yes, she was former mother general, a man of a person of high reputation, a person who were guiding other people. But now, in my same situation, she is now with this accusation. So because I gave permission, now I became the target.
So when did you give permission? What period was that?
Same, maybe within a few days they came to me.
In
Same,
in 2014
no,
or
16.
2016? Yeah.
This is happening in 2016
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
After getting the complaint, after 2-3 days they came to me, and then I gave them permission, and then inquiry is going. Okay, so many things are happening
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah.
It is an internal matter.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Yeah.
intervene because I am busy with my work. They are busy with their
Then what
work.
happened?
On 26th May 2017, which means almost after 7 months. So the inquiry team is going there and things like that. And of course, when sister had gone there, the present mother general met the inmates. They also admitted the husband of that lady had stayed in that convent for 4 days or so, like a few days there. These are all evidences to prove the allegation of that lady.
So you're
That's
basically
a
saying that it was a revenge. That's what you're saying.
we believe.
Huh.
Coming to this,
Yeah.
but this is what the public doesn't know. This is what the media has covered up. They say victim, don't allow anybody to speak on the other side. That is why now that I have a chance, I have to give you the full
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So I became the target. So on 26th May 2017, she wrote a letter saying I am leaving my religious life and give me permission to get married. So she decides to leave the congregation.
The victim wrote a letter.
Whatever. That time I was in Rome. The present Mother General rang me up. So I said, let us pray that she doesn't take that drastic step. Just because there is an allegation. Wait.
Will it come now?
Generate.
Cut mat
That
मारो.
was a
Cutting.
right time when it happened. It's going well.
You are getting the story, no?
I'm getting the story. Yeah. But I hope you will answer all the questions now
Oh,
that you're sitting.
don't worry. Because
Because
most of the questions.
only they have been saying that there is no time. That's why.
Most of the questions is
Can we?
But questions are
Questions to the
Should we start again?
No.
first question.
I can continue.
okay. Cut me now.
Nothing. I continue. I know where I
I'll
start.
continue.
Okay.
I
So
will.
you will continue. Please
Yeah, I know
continue
where I
where you
stopped,
were
yeah.
saying. Yeah.
So on 26th May 2017, she wrote the letter asking for permission to get married. That's called dispensation. So when Mother General informed me about that, I was in Rome and I told her, let us pray that this sister does not take that drastic decision. Because it is an allegation, we have to make inquiry and we have to, no, it takes time. We are not in a hurry. We don't condemn anybody. So I don't find any reason why she should leave the congregation.
Then what?
So let us go. After 4 days, she wrote the letter back again, another letter, withdrawing the request for dispensation. I should thank God. God has heard our prayers. We all were very happy. But now when I look back, I find that time onwards, the planning to trap me started. She says, no, she has written so many letters to so and so, as
But why
evidence.
would someone want to trap you? Because here, as far as what I've understood, you have come into the picture only once
Yes.
when you have given permission to them to conduct an inquiry.
Yes.
So why should she have that much of grudge against you?
Okay. Very good question. If you go through the letters she has written after 2017, May 30th, the time she decided to stay inside, that time onwards, she had been writing letters, different kinds of letters. She got her friends also to write letters. The main content of all those letters, in one sentence, that Bishop Franco is using the general and her team to persecute her, to interference in the congregation, etc. So they were making material ground to say that I am fully involved in which, whereas that was not the case. So, or it could be a misunderstanding
Yeah.
that they were feeling that I have turned against her and asking them to make her life miserable. Therefore, I become her target.
So now, one of the allegations that are being raised against you and the Kerala police is that the Kerala police has taken the statement of the nun several times, but you have been questioned only once. Now, what is the reality? How many times have you been questioned by the Kerala police?
Kerala police came here on 13th August from evening 7:45 to almost 4:30 in the morning or night. I was talking to them, or they were questioning me, I was answering. Thereafter, I heard there was a lot of discrepancy in what I have said and in what she has said, because many things were not corroborating.
So, how many times have they questioned you totally, sir?
I am in Jalandhar, they have come here only once.
Okay.
So it takes time. Each time, because if
So, what did they ask you?
they ask me many things, like what is why did you go to Puralangar?
Hmm.
I went to Puralangar because that belongs to the diocese. That is a mission house. It is made for the missionaries from Kerala working here. When they go, they can use that as a place to stay.
Yeah.
Some senior fathers who do not have parents now, brothers and sisters also.
Yeah.
So like that. So I explained. Then they asked me to stop, and then I no. So it takes time. So similarly, when they came and asked me few questions, I don't know what are the questions they have asked her. So naturally, they have to verify. Probably they might have gone to verify what I have said and what she has said to see how it is corroborating. But I don't know.
Okay, but Bishop, you realize that for a woman in today's society, in Indian society, for a woman to come out and be open, to emerge out of the shadows and say things like, "I have been raped," he tried to do unnatural sex with me, he tried to sexually assault me, he confined me in a room. For a woman to say that in an Indian society, it's very difficult. And so you understand that there are so many complications as far as a woman's life in a society like India is concerned. Here we are not even talking about a commoner. We're talking about a nun. For a nun to come out in the open, emerge out of the shadows and say such a thing, it's even more difficult. So don't you appreciate it at some level? And also think that why would a nun come out in the open and raise such serious allegations? Because whatever you say, I understand that you're talking about a complaint letter, you're talking about an inquiry, you're talking about revenge. I understand all of that. But if you read the complaint letter of the nun to the police, it is a very serious letter. So, can you actually draw a comparison between removing somebody from a post, a person saying that she had an illicit relationship, some person, a third party here, and the grave allegations that somebody has raped me so many times? What is the comparison here? Because if you
Yeah.
weigh these two things, obviously, is there a relationship?
I will explain it
Yeah,
in a very simple manner.
yeah,
You know, there are statistics with regard to rape accusations filed in courts, not only in India, also abroad. And many of the old cases, very high percentage, have been proved to be false. And that is the reason even Supreme Court has made a provision that in the old cases, first investigation should be made and evidence must be found out and then arrest must be in order to avoid harassment. So this goes to prove that it is not that difficult to make a rape false accusation. If it has really happened, then it will be difficult. But for the sake of revenge, for the sake of financial advantages, for many other reasons,
where does financial advantage come in?
because in the past cases we reported in the newspapers,
No, in this case,
I'll tell you, okay, compromise was arrived with a financial remuneration. Therefore, I gave you different examples. It could be a revenge, it could be to teach a lesson, it could be financial, it could be anything. It could be anything. So, because of that, in the Indian courts also we have found very good high percentage of the false cases being accused.
but we are
proved.
talking about this case.
Therefore, no, but that is why I'm telling. When you asked me, I appreciated that question. If a lady is raped, it is very difficult for her to come out and say that.
Yeah.
But if it has not happened, and to make a false accusation, in the courts for the statistics, it is proved. It is not that difficult because there are so many fights. And similarly, this is a false case. This is what I said. It has to be
It
proved.
has to be proved.
And therefore, the question is irrelevant. And for
Yeah.
example, you said this is a nun, not an illiterate village woman. It is a nun who is educated, who was a former general. And in the system of the Catholic Church, we have got various forums where she could complain. The delay she has to
No, but
explain.
the High Court has said that no one is above the law. So if she feels that she has to go to the police station and complain,
No, no.
it is her right to do so.
Well, not that. Which she should have done.
Yeah.
Why she did not?
You are talking
No,
about
no.
time elapsed.
No. If rape has happened, she should have done it. She did not do it because it did not happen. Being at the leadership role.
Some people will say she did not have the courage at that time.
But
she was under some pressure.
Excuse, we can say a lot of things. I forgot. I was no, my memory lost. I was in coma. I was I was. Excuse anybody can say. We are not talking about an ordinary lady. We are talking about a nun who was the leadership role, and for 9 years, who knows all the rules and regulations. Also, at one stage, in the leadership, obliged to protect other sisters working under her. And if any of them had any difficulty, she knows what is the legal remedy to be taken. And how come that in her own case she did not? It is not easy.
Now
it
let
is
me
not
ask
easy
you
to make
a
it
logical question,
Yeah.
Bishop. You said that the nun had indulged in an illicit relationship and you had got a complaint letter to others in the congregation. Now, this letter of complaint is coming from a third party and you choose to believe it. But here is a victim who herself is saying that I am raped. It is a first party statement where the victim is saying that I have been raped and you choose not to believe it. But you choose to believe a complaint which was given by a third party.
There is a very big contradiction in what you say. It is factually wrong to say that we have believed it. I have not believed it. Because if you ask the Mother General, my first reaction to this complaint was, it is unbelievable. So I have not believed it. But at the same time, we are duty bound to make an inquiry because it is the lady with her own. No, she is not talking about another person, she is talking about her own husband. Don't simply reduce the relationship by saying third party. It is not
these are two different cases.
Two different cases. Yeah. But it is not a different person, it is the wife of a person who is the victim. In this case, she is the victim. In this case also. So it is both who are victims. We have not believed what she has said it, but you are all believing what this victim is saying.
So the nun has said before a first class magistrate that she has enough evidences to prove her case. So what are the evidences that she is talking about and what kind of evidences material evidences will you be able to provide before a court of law? Because in the court when this matter gets heard, only evidences matter. So if the nun is so confident and she is saying that I have evidences to prove my case, what counter evidences will you have to prove your case?
First of all, I have no idea what evidences she has. Because since I have not done it, I will say she has absolutely no evidence. Otherwise, she will have to fabricate evidence.
So the nun and the protesting sisters have been giving statements. The protesting sisters have been giving statements to the media that there has been a death threat against the nun, and that there is a lot of pressure that is coming on them to withdraw this case and all that. So when these statements are made, obviously the needle of suspicion will be pointed at you. What do you have to say regarding that?
Precisely, in order to make the needle of suspicion to point at me, they have fabricated these accusations. Very clear. You have answered it.
So you are saying that there is no way you have never contacted.
Never ever. I am ready to give my life to get the truth out.
When was the last time you had a conversation with the victim?
It must be December 2016 or January beginning of 2017.
So after that, there has absolutely been no telephone conversation, no SMSs,
nothing.
no conversation at all.
Nothing.
So when was the last time you actually travelled with her? Because you have said.
I don't know. I don't know. But she has accompanied me practically for all the programs in and around Kottayam and Kannur.
During the years 2014, 15, 16.
Yeah. That is another evidence to say no rape has taken place. If I have raped a person 13 times as a woman, please let me know. Will a person be able to travel with me? Will a person be able to sit with me and have meal? Will a person be able to even look at? I was surprised.
So
No,
on
you-
what
one more,
evidences do you have to prove that she had traveled with you? Do you have photographs? Do you have video
Of
evidence?
course, we have all the evidences,
Okay, so and
all the
MLA,
evidences,
an MLA in
and
Kerala.
therefore it is totally demolished. It is becoming clearer and clear that this is a false accusation. And not only that, one Vanida Commission chairman, when visited the convent, I heard she educated the nun, telling, hey, Bishop's photo is here. You looking at the photo, you should have aversion. Therefore, remove it. You see, because rape has not taken place, so there was no
No, but
aversion.
wait, whether it has taken place or not taken place, only a court of law will
From
be
the
able to
no, no, no,
finally
no.
say.
Now I am telling
Now,
from the
yeah,
circumstantial
yeah.
evidences.
Now,
No rape has taken place. Otherwise, she would have said remove that
now,
photograph.
an MLA in Kerala had compared the victim to a prostitute. Now, what do you have to say to that? Do you condemn his statement or do you support him?
I don't know which is this MLA. Would you like to tell me the name?
It's the Punyar MLA in Kerala called PC George.
Okay. I have not heard anything like that.
You've not
Second-
seen any statement at all on TV or
No,
you've
I
not-
don't.
you
I
know
don't.
this controversy at
As
all?
far as possible, I try to avoid the TV because they are humiliating me, insulting me. They are engaging in full-scale, 100% character assassination and telling lies after lies
But
and
do you know
shouting
this-
at me
do you know
without
this MLA?
without having any respect for me as a person. I think they want to kill me by mentally depressing me, and I may even get a heart attack. So I have to protect myself. Therefore, I try to avoid not looking at the TV.
Okay.
They have done the greatest injustice. Indian law says one person is innocent until proved guilty. Media, they have not followed
The
it.
question-
It is the greatest injustice in the history of
I
India.
understand it
And
when-
this is very bad and very bad because balanced view they could have given. And Indian society is they are not fools. They understand
So,
these are all paid in
I
news.
understand when you
And
say that you have
therefore,
not watched television.
therefore, I want to
But-
say that the way the media has behaved with me, it is with the purpose of killing me.
But-
It is killing me.
but-
Therefore, I have avoided.
Rishabh,
Therefore, I am not sure whether
the
he
thing
said
is,
it.
you are an accused. So when a victim is giving a complaint and with such huge allegations, and the police is registering a case, when the SIT comes out and gives a statement, the police officers who are probing your case comes out and says that we have enough evidences to prove that something has happened, and then if you expect that the media should not report it, is it possible?
And the same police is telling that we have not found enough evidences to arrest you. Why the media is not highlighting that?
The police.
Secondly, when I gave my statement, I requested them to give me a copy.
Okay.
And they told me,
Hmm.
Bishop, even if you try to get it through RTI, till we submit it to the court, you won't get it. If that is the secrecy of the statements we are given, how come all the statements against me from the statements of other people were cleverly and selectively leaked out to the media,
Again-
which means people are telling there
Again,
is a
I'm coming
nexus.
back to the same
There is a
question.
nexus between the police and the media. I don't know.
I'm
These are
coming
people
back to
are
the
telling.
same question.
Therefore,
That
who
regarding
said-
the MLA, I'm just coming back to the same question. Now I understand that you have been not watching television, so let me tell you what he has said. He's basically compared he's spoken in support of you, and he has compared the nun to a prostitute. I want to know, now that you know what he has said, I want to know, do you know PC George MLA? Do you support him or do you condemn these statements? This is all I want to know.
Yes, number one. I do not know him.
You don't know this MLA at all?
I have never met him.
You've never spoken to him?
No.
Okay.
But in the newspapers, and only like now, I have never spoken to Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister.
You know him through the papers and the media and...
Similarly, I also have a knowledge of a.
But personally you don't know him.
Absolutely no.
What about
I,
his statement?
But I have heard what the people say. What people say is that if PC George says something, then he will have enough reason for that. He is a righteous politician, and when he takes up an issue, he goes all out for it. This is what I have heard from the people. When now,
So you're supporting him?
No, with regard to this statement, I have no idea. So I don't want to say anything on this.
But look at what the nun has said in a letter. she has called you, she has said that Bishop Franco is a predator and the church is behaving like a stepmother to women and laity. Now, again, coming back to the church, the role of the church, what should the role of the church be when a victim or a woman comes forward and with these allegations? The church should give importance to the victim's statement. It is always, the onus is always on the accused to prove that he has raped or he has not raped. Here, what everybody is saying is that the church, the congregation, your congregation, they have issued statements supporting you and lashing out at the victim. So even before a police inquiry is complete, even before the case has gone to the court, the congregation has already decided that you are guilt free. They're calling you an innocent soul. So do you think that this is the right thing to do?
Do you think all others who are condemning me is right to do? Even the posters distributed everywhere as if I am already condemned. Do you justify that? Why this double standard?
I believe, personally, if you ask me, I believe whenever there is a case of rape, okay, we have to present two sides of the story.
Yes.
The nun
That
story
is the point.
and the bishop story.
That is the story.
And let the people take a call, let the people decide,
Yes.
let the court of law
Fully
finally
agree.
decide
Yes.
who is the culprit.
Yes.
Okay?
But for the last 76
But if
days.
the media is doing any story, let it be the case of Sunanda Pushkar, or let it be the case of Arushi Talwar, or let it be the case of Sister Abhaya. If the media has gone beyond a particular point and has said that Sister Abhaya was raped, or if Sunanda Pushkar was murdered, or there has something wrong has happened in Jessica Lal case, it is always based on some evidences, something which corroborates the incident. Okay. Now, what I just want to know from you that let's keep this entire thing aside. When the congregation comes forward and supports you, even before a probe is over, on what basis are they doing that? Because the probe is still underway.
Yeah, we will have to ask them. As you said, if media is saying something, they may have some evidences to corroborate. Similarly, if somebody is saying something, they also may have something to corroborate. But when I spoke about media, I would like to make a clarification. I'm not talking about media in general. What I want to say is, people have used the media. So I don't want to say one particular channel is against me, but whom they call for the discussion, whom they call for the presentation, they are the people who have selectively tried to do the character
But
assassination.
let's
So I'm
not
not talking about the media, but as you said, it has been one-sided feeding that was going in public, and that was the reason also.
So I'm basically saying that both the sides
Both
should
sides
be
must be
presented.
correct. I fully
Okay?
agree with
So
you.
the basic idea to come to you all the way from Delhi to
Yes,
this
to
place
give my
is
side.
to take your side
And
of the
that's
story,
I'm cooperating
which
with
I
you.
feel that you have the right to speak, tell your side.
Yeah.
Now the victim has written a 7-page letter. It seems she's written a 7-page letter to the ambassador to the Pope against you. Have you heard from the Vatican?
No, first of all, I don't have a copy of that letter, so I have no idea. I won't be able to make any comment on
Okay, so lot many Christian groups, Christian organizations, the KCRM, the JCC, all these people are protesting against you today, saying that Franco Mulakkal, the bishop, has to be arrested. Um, so, what do you have to say to them? Because the chorus is going for your arrest, and the Kerala police has also said that they have some evidences to corroborate what the sister has said.
that. When did they say?
I've heard the SIT,
No.
I've seen reports in the media as well.
Yeah.
So, do you believe that since the allegations are so strong, do you really believe, have you thought about it at least once, that you should just step aside till the time your innocence, if you are innocent, till the time it is proven, or till the time the case is over, the probe is over, don't you think that you should step down from your position and wait for the legal course to take place? Go on.
I have thought about it. I wanted to do that.
You wanted to step down?
Yes,
Okay.
I prayed over that. And then the matter came up in our police meeting, and they and other forums where I took up the matter, they all advised me not to do so. They said, This is a retaliation accusation because of the background. And therefore, if you step aside, it will look as if you are admitting the crime. Because of your guilt conscience, you are doing it. Therefore, all what you have to do is carry the cross. The inquiry is going on. Let the report come, and then we will decide what to do.
So you will not step down. That's what you're saying.
Well, I am asked, to do. I did not come on my own. I always have said, like an obedient son in the church, I will obey my superiors.
Okay, now the last question. The Kerala High Court made a reference to you by saying that no one is above the law. So I just want to ask you this question: be it a bishop or a priest, a temple priest, a Maulana, whoever, nobody is above the law, and every one of us is answerable to the Constitution. Do you also believe that every one of us is answerable to the Constitution? And I want to know if a common man would have had a case against him like this in your place. At the first instance, the cops would have gone to him, FIR would have been registered, he would have been arrested in a common man's case. But people are saying today that just because you are bishop, you have considerable influence over people. There are not many people supporting you, and therefore the Kerala police is also going slow in this case, and you're being given a preferential treatment. I want to ask you honestly, are you influencing the probe?
There are three wrong things what you have said just now. Number one, you said that if it were to be an ordinary person, he would have been arrested. How can it be? Kerala police or the investing agency, they have to follow rules and regulations of India, CRPC. And according to that,
Based on the evidences, of course.
based on the evidences, therefore, there is no point in telling that if an ordinary person is being accused, the police force should have gone immediately and arrested him. It is wrong to say, and it is misleading. Number two, you asked me whether I believe that no one is above law. I believe, not only believe, I teach and I tell everyone. And that is the reason always I have said I will cooperate with the investing agencies. If they want to arrest me, let them arrest me. If they want to put me in jail, I will go to the jail.
You are open to arrest.
I am open to arrest. I am open to even the capital punishment. I am open to anything. If I have committed a crime, punish me. This is what I am telling. If I have committed crime and if I am found guilty, I will be happily accepting
And you're also saying that nobody, you nor anybody around you is influencing the probe. You're sure about that. You're saying that. Or it is a matter on record.
On record. There is absolutely no attempt made to influence anybody. Secondly, you said what influence I have? I am here in Punjab, working with the poor people for their upliftment. One thing is there. We always try to take everybody along, whether it's Sikhs, Hindus, Muslims. So we have got a very good relationship with everyone. I have that relationship because of which there are people who are praying in Gurudwara.
So you are basically
There are people
you're saying that you're
there
not
are people
influencing.
there are people who are praying in the temples, in the mosques, in the Protestant churches, and of course in the Catholic churches. They are all praying. What do they pray? They don't pray, please protect Bishop Franco. They are all praying, let the truth come out. And it is only because I have a very good relationship with everybody.
Bishop, so we understand that. So my basic aim through this interview was to get your side of the story as well, ask you all these pointed questions because the people of Kerala, people of India really want to know what happened, and all the questions that I asked you is coming from all of the people who really are curious to know what is your side of the story, as well as everybody wants to know why a victim is being, why character assassination of the victim is taking place.
No, accused is taking place.
That's
Character accusation.
You're saying that.
It may be isolated cases, but the real character
But
accusation.
only as a
Now I am the
see,
real victim.
only a probe.
Now
only
I am
a
the real
probe only through a probe we will get to know what is the truth. And let's wait and see what happens.
Yes.
Since you're saying that you're going to cooperate with the investigation
course.
and you're also open to arrest, now let's see what the next course of action of the Kerala police is going to be. Thank you, Franco Mulakkal Bishop, for talking to Republic TV.
Let me conclude saying
Yeah.
that I am the victim of the character assassination, and I don't think justice is done to me. Secondly, to conclude, because always the story in the mind is how can a woman come out and speak like that? You spoke about the high position of a bishop. So with this, I will give a concluding remark. A nun and an ordinary person, a man, if they are having illicit relationship, whom will the society hold guilty? Naturally the nun, because you are a spiritual person and you are unmarried, proclaimed virgin. How can you have relationship with a man? So
But
naturally,
let me also ask you a
let me
question.
finish.
What if a nun is saying a bishop has raped her? Then what?
There is,
It is a different story
no,
altogether.
no, I'm moving to
Yeah.
precisely to that.
Yeah.
So in this comparison, naturally, if a nun is having a relationship with an ordinary person, naturally, nun will be held guilty, more guilty. So this person, ordinary person, will say, suppose if it is between a nun and a bishop, oh,
No, so if
So,
you
let me
ask
come,
me,
let me-
if you ask me,
uh-huh.
under Indian Constitution, there is no rule that a nun. I'm not talking about the victim. I'm just saying under Indian Constitution there is no rule that one cannot have a relationship with another person. So I really don't care if someone is having a relationship which you may call illicit. I don't know. I really don't care. But I would definitely care.
Yes.
I would definitely care if there is a violation of the law of the country, and if under the Constitution there are certain rules. There is IPC section, there is something known as rape, and there is something known as sexual assault. So if somebody says that she has been raped, then obviously I will care.
Yes, but our basis of the interview was not that.
Yeah.
Our basis of the interview was a nun and a bishop.
Correct.
Therefore, when the nun is accusing a bishop, naturally bishop will be accused because in a higher position, so to say. But if a problem is between a bishop and the archbishop, naturally perception, oh, archbishop is guilty. If it is between archbishop and between a cardinal, oh, cardinal is guilty. If it is so, here comes the retaliation accusation. We can easily understand to save oneself, accuse the higher party perception before the law. All are equal. But in the perception, and she has succeeded in that, and therefore I'm carrying the cross, and I will carry the cross. And to my viewers, I only say, please join others and pray for me. And if something happens to me, I don't blame anybody. I forgive everyone. All those who have, all those who have said, I just forgive
I can only tell you
everyone.
that let the truth come out, let the investigation get completed, let the truth come out, and then let the courts decide, and let the people of the country decide. Thank you, Franco Mulakkal Bishop, for talking to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to put my part in the story.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.